Introduction. This book does not end well. Or rather, it ends just the way it should, but not the way I planned. When I started writing, things were different, and then things changed. What I thought was going to be a book about past struggles and more recent victories turned into a book about painful transitions and learning to understand the deep, redeeming love of God, no matter what we face. I'm told by my editors that this is just the sort of story people love to read, yet good to read and fun to live are very different indeed. I doubt I'll ever stand around a fire pit with friends, recounting many of these stories and saying, "Good times." Instead, I'm more likely to end up in a heap of tears while my marshmallow is eaten by the flames. When I think back to this time in our family's life, the drastic transitions, the mistakes, the frustrating unknowns, I see only one constant: God. He was always there, covering mistakes, holding our hands, forgiving blunders, reaching deep into our hearts and healing. And for that, I am thankful. This is not a book about someone who has it all together, or even someone who learned every lesson life had to teach him in a short time span and is now grown up and moved on. This is a book about a man who is a work in progress, a work that will never be complete this side of heaven. I hesitated many times while writing this memoir. I struggled with the fear that my book might not be well received, but also that those who dared pick it up and leaf through its pages would view me as a failure, the man they have nightmares about their kids growing up to resemble. The process of writing each chapter served to uncover more of my missteps, revealing in the perfect clarity of hindsight that I truly had done a heck of a job screwing things up. In the end, or at least for today, I rest in the conclusion that I would rather be known as the fool who told his own story, mistakes and all, in the hope that others might be encouraged when they hold me up as an example and say, "At least I'm not as messed up as that guy." Tomorrow, however, is certain to bring a tsunami of regret over having opened up so deeply in a book for all to read. Such is life. Yet the truth remains. God needs no heroes to work for him. He chooses the broken, the weary, the torn apart, the weak. If our family accomplished good, it wasn't because of us. It was because of him. Levi Benkertwas. Chapter 1. Lebuck, Ethiopia, April 7th, 2009. The early morning fog hovered over the grass huts scattered along the Omo River. In the distance, a few women ventured out, gathering sticks to build a fire. Soon, the scorching sun would burn across the sky, baking everyone and everything in its path. For the most part, the little village was peaceful, except for one small hut where a young woman was giving birth. But this was not a joyous occasion. Inside the hut, the distraught woman struggled through labor, knowing that when the baby was born, there would be no celebration. She understood that the events following this birth, like others before, would haunt her forever. "It's a girl," the young woman's husband spoke, if only in a whisper, as he held his tiny infant for the first time. While he used a sharp rock to cut the umbilical cord, his wife's tears flowed freely, running down her cheeks to the dirt floor. "Take her away," she pleaded, refusing to look into the eyes of her newborn child. "I don't want to see her," she cried, gesturing frantically toward the low opening in the hut. Placing a small cloth over the infant's face, the baby's father made his way outside. Crouching in the fierce heat of the morning sun, the man scratched his fingers into the dirt, spit into his hand, and rolled together a small handful of clay-like substance. Brushing the cloth from his daughter's face, he looked into her eyes for just a moment. The muscles inside him tightened. Shutting off all natural instincts, he methodically followed his well-thought-out plan. Tilting the infant's head back, he opened her mouth and fed her a handful of dirt. Then, laying her in the dust, he rose to his feet and re-entered the hut, leaving his daughter to die alone. He didn't look back, determined not to watch the helpless baby struggle for breath while the life drained from her tiny body. He knew from experience that within a few moments, it would all be over. But this time was different.